Hi everyone, Blake Hero here, and today I'm coming at you guys with a discussion basically regarding my take on cutting Liquid Soldier from the deck. I wasn't planning on making this video now. I was going to be pushing this video on a later date, but a lot of things came up, a lot of memes were made, and basically I have to kind of explain my take a little bit better in a video format. I want to push this one out very quickly because I feel like a lot of misinformation is being spread, and I really don't like that, especially with a take that I am pretty proud of, at least with the math and the analysis behind it. Like I said, I see a lot of people talking about it, but not a lot of people quite understanding it. I definitely think after we get the Evil Hero support, we'll definitely be cutting Liquid from the deck. But even now, I feel like we should be playing Liquid. And basically, the whole reason why is because I want to replace Liquid and play Wing Karibo level 6 and a couple copies of Prosperity. I've been experimenting with this build in theory for like about a month and a half now, but I wanted to not show it off yet just because I want to make sure it was legitimate. I passed off my findings to a lot of the other hero players and how they felt about it, and the reception's been very positive from the people that I shared it with that are close. And yeah, so I wasn't going to comment anymore on it, but I felt like, especially with people making videos and a lot of posts about it, I just want to make sure that people understood the reason. So the reason why I cut Liquid in the first place is from an anecdotal experience. I actually had a case tournament. It's about like 20 something people, and I lost without making top cut, and I just need to make top 8. I bricked 3 times in 5 rounds, and that's not super likely in the deck, of course, but the culprit of 2 out of 3 of those times was actually the Liquid Soldier in this case. One of the other times I drew all the Vision Hero cards, which kind of sucks, but it happens. So on this day, I didn't necessarily even need to get lucky to top. I just needed to not get unlucky, if that makes sense. So instead of just complaining about getting unlucky, I like to find solutions. I want to problem solve, and I want to figure out how could I have done better. So basically I was like looking at these hands, and if Liquid Soldier would have just been Emergency Call, for example, another starter, then I would have won all the games that I bricked on Liquid Soldier, which were 2 on that day, but those were very, very important games. After I decided to do that, it then evolved into playing Prosp, because I think Prosp is a better card than Emergency Call. Now with no Liquid Soldier, there's no conflict there with the drawing of cards. So then that led me to thinking about, when you were going to grab Liquid Soldier, what can we grab there to increase the ceiling of the deck? And that would be the Wing Karibo level 6 is what I decided on. And the Wing Karibo's level 6 just flows a lot better with the deck, but I'll get more into that in a combo video, kind of showing off how you can incorporate it into the combos. Now, that was my experience with it. Now, let's kind of talk about why I don't think Liquid is necessary for the deck anymore. So in the hands where you're going to go to grab Liquid Soldier, you have a choice between either grabbing Liquid or grabbing Karibo, and basically what are the benefits of picking Karibo in the first place. So you would normally choose Liquid to try to draw non-engine, but if you're only playing 9 and 40, this is a very standard ratio. I actually did the math, and at the point where you're going to trigger Liquid Soldier's effect, you have about a 50 to 60% chance to draw non-engine, which isn't extremely high. That means that 40 to 50% of the time that you're not actually going to draw non-engine. You're just going to filter through hero cards, and you're passing up on a free interruption, which is that Wing Karibo level 6. If you're looking for a specific non-engine, which I've seen the take of, oh, but I really want to see X card, it's even lower math than that 40 to 50% of when you miss out on it. One major thing that I also see a lot of people complain about is that, wow, the deck has so many bricks. Specifically, when you have Miracle Fusion and Favorite Contact, which are cards that you would rather search in your combo than draw. I'm a big fan of playing close to 43 at the maximum amount of cards, which means we're gonna see some of these bricks like Miracle and Favorite Contact a lot more, because I want to see cards like a Hero Lives and Fusion Destiny a lot more. So that means you're going to see a 2 of, which I'm counting Miracle and Fusion and Favorite Contact as a pair, you're going to see that about 12.5% of the time. That means out of 10 games, I'll even round down. At least one of those games out of the 10, you're going to see one of these cards. Basically, the Wing Karibo allows it so that it's perfectly fine if you do. If you draw Miracle or Favorite Contact, basically when you go through your Infernal Rage, you can actually use this effect to add the Wing Karibo or summon him straight from the deck, which I went into a lot of this detail about the benefits of Wing Karibo in one of my previous videos. Mainly, the point here is that the Liquid Soldier drawing isn't as good as we think it is. It's fun, it's great to gamble, but I don't want to gamble. I want to make the deck as consistent as possible with what I want it to do. Of course, you could high roll it and you could draw 2 pieces of non-engine, but that just isn't coming up enough, at least mathematically, to make it make sense. Now, a lot of the lines actually changed because Wing Creeper level 6 needs you to banish an Elemental Hero fusion monster. It actually leaves Denier live way more than before. That's a lot of, I'm seeing a lot of people saying they want Liquid Soldier for that follow-up for that turn 3, but actually the follow-up's just the same, if not better, with playing the Wing Creeper instead, because you get to the point where a lot of people are saying they want to normal summon Liquid, bring back Stratos, for example, to pop, or bring back the Vion for X reasons. Well, what you can actually do is with the Wing Creeper, you can summon him first and then summon the Stratos, and that's like having both of the Liquid Soldier plus the Stratos bodies right there, because the Wing Creeper, you're going to have the Wake Up Engrave on turn 3, and that's going to allow you to summon out the Wing Creeper as your first action for turn 3. So basically you have the same amount of follow-up as you did before, except now it's just living a little bit different and you just have to get used to it a little bit. So you also have Denier, like I said, live, which is amazing follow-up, and I'll get into that line in a little bit. The loss of Liquid, being able to cut him from the deck, actually means that there's no conflicts on probably one of the best cards ever printed, which is Pot of Prosperity. Basically this card is going to allow you to dig up to 6 deep, which I shouldn't have to explain how good that is. It's going to allow you to see power spells such as a Hero Living Fusion Destiny a lot more. If you get stopped, it's actually going to allow you to grab Ferris or Fusion Destiny or any of the starters if you don't have one. And then also the card gets you to board breakers and it makes the deck flow so much better. So I'm playing around 18 starters in the 42 card list that you can see on your screen. I just wanted to put something on the screen so you can see something while I'm talking about it. This is just a basic list without the Liquid Soldier and playing the Wing Creeper instead and playing the Pot of Prosperity. So basically that allows you to have a 95% chance to open a starter, which is about 2% more than it was with the previous version, where we were playing about like 16, 17, depending on the list. I definitely recommend playing 3 Stratos for this build, but I'll get into that a little bit more, and that also increases your chances to open starters. A lot of people really missed Liquid for that revive on turn 3, and my question to that is, how many times is really going to win you the game? We already play a Shadow Mist and 1 Poly, so bringing back the Vion doesn't really do anything. A lot of people play only 1 Dark Law or only 1 Mass Change, so summoning back the Mist, you don't have anything to grab. Also, like I said earlier, we leave the Denier live most of the time to enable the Stratos pop play, or to get into the Cross Crusader, to get into the Plasma, which is still left in our deck. The only problem is that the Creepo is a fairy, so you just will have to use either the Malicious left in your deck or the Denier left in your deck to be able to summon back. One of the things about Pot of Prosperity that a lot of people are saying that the take that I'm seeing is they lose out on a grind game. But if you really understand the deck and you look at your hand, because you will see your hand before you banish for Cost of Prosperity, you know what to banish. It definitely takes some getting used to, but once you get used to it, it opens up a consistency level that we have not seen before. A few of the other takes that I've seen is that, why are we trying to make the deck more competitive by trying to put cards into Pot of Prosperity and trying to optimize it? I'm a competitive player. I always want to make the deck the best it can be, even though it is a rogue deck. I don't want rogue to just be rogue, especially in something like the fact that I've been playing hero for so long and know how good this deck can be. I wanted to continue to innovate, and Liquid Soldier doesn't actually do anything for the deck. It doesn't need it, really. It's just not necessary anymore. And you just replace that with the Wing Karibo, and you just play the 2 Pot of Prosperities to increase consistency, to see breakers, as well to see engine, non-engine extenders. The benefits are just so much better. So I wanted to just kind of show off this list real quick. I know it's been on the screen for a while, but I've been talking. So this list is basically just very standard, playing 10 non-engine plus the 2 pros. You can change up the non-engine for whatever. I just put in some basic non-engine just because we probably won't know what the format looks like. If Pot of Prosperity does go to 1, it is heavily speculated that the pot will go to 1. We can simply just either cut down to 1 pot and have the 17 starters, or we can actually just replace one of the pots with E-Call, and then you won't ever have the problem with drawing 2 of the Pot of Prosperities. So now I'm just going to show off this replay, and I'm going to talk about it a good bit, just so I can like really give the context of why I like the Winged Karibo so much. So I'm just gonna play this replay. So this is the hand that you would be grabbing Liquid Soldier, is if you have access to one of your Destiny Hero names already, or this hand could be Stratos/Ferris. There's a lot of hands that this could be right here, but I just wanted to show the situation that you would grab Liquid. So I want to show the benefit of grabbing Karibo instead. So I'm just gonna play this replay. So we're gonna normal Stratos, grab Ferris, of course. We're gonna go Ferris, pitching the Malicious. Ferris is gonna place the increase tribute, summon, basically very basic Omni hero stuff so far. So one thing I wanna mention is another benefit of Winged Karibo that you won't get just from the discussion I said earlier, you kind of have to watch this combo video to get as well, is that there is a huge benefit to being able to actually dump the Karibo, where you don't actually have that with the Liquid. You can dump the Liquid, and of course you can banish it for Miracle, but it's not as good because you're not gonna get that turn 3 also to draw again. I just think that the draw that really doesn't do enough, and I would rather have the deck more streamlined and basically getting right to the point of what it wants to do. So here we have the option actually to play either around a Bystial or Nibiru. If we go Vion and we dump the Denier, then we're going to play around a Bystial. If we go Vion to dump the Karibo, then we're going to play around Nibiru. In this replay, I'm going to show the Denier, and I'm going to explain how else you can play around Nibiru in a second. We are going to banish to add Polymerization, of course. We're going to link 2 into the Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader is going to summon back the Denier, and that's how we're going to play around a Bystial. Because if you target the Malicious, they can just banish the Malicious, the Denier can't come back, and then you're kind of screwed. So basically, if you target the Denier, they Bystial, you can banish Mally, summon a copy, and then you can get into a very similar board, except you're going to then just grab Neos instead with the Malicious because you won't have that extra extender. And we're going to have the Winged Karibo. So basically we're going to summon Mally, and then we're going to link away these 2 into the Infernal, and this is going to add the Neos. So because we didn't play around the Nibiru, this could be where a great Nibiru choke point could be for anyone playing against Hero. But this gets very, very hard punished if we opened any other hero attribute besides light. We have all the lights in our hand already, so if we hard drew a Stratos, if we hard drew the Shadow Mist, if we hard drew even the increase, we're still able to basically change our board, and we go Neos plus the increase to summon out the Sunrise, for example, which then we can grab the Miracle, and then we can basically continue on from there. You will lose out on Dark Law, but because unless you have Fusion Destiny is also another hard punish there. But if you don't have another element, you could get punished by Nibiru here, which is why I would do the opposite way, where I would dump the Karibo and then grab the Denier, just not play around a Bystial if I don't have one of those attributes. So next we're going to activate Poly, and we're going to fuse the Stratos and the Neo. So another take that I've seen a lot of people saying is that Liquid is our other element, and definitely 100%, it feels great to draw 2 cards discard with Liquid. Don't get me wrong, Liquid's a great card, but he's just not necessary anymore, and I'm trying to optimize the deck to be the best possible it can be. And one of those things you have to do is sometimes you have to really analyze the deck and see, even though I love Liquid Soldier, is it really, really necessary, and take a very empirical data look at it. A lot of people are saying, oh, but he's the other element. Basically what you can do is you can actually add another Stratos to your hand to be your other element, which that way, especially if you've gone through like a Hero Lives or something, you haven't used your normal summon over yet, you can actually hard punish by normally Stratos grabbing Plasma, tributing 3 with the Nib token. If you do get Nibiru, you still have your normal summon, then you can make Plasma and take the Nibiru, and that's a pretty big Plasma. So there's a lot of other ways you can punish, and I like holding the normal summon, of course, as you always should with Hero, because Vion's the choke point. Having their Stratos in hand, which is why I also think it's very important to play 3 to have the highest chance of not only drawing 1, but drawing another one allows you to play through Interruption a lot more. So that's basically my thing, is that you can just grab another Stratos, and then at the end of the combo, when you go for the Shadow Mist, you just don't grab anything off the Shadow Mist, and you keep a Malicious left in your deck for follow-up. So just wanted to kind of give that take. So basically we're going to now grab the favorite contact. We have 2 favorite cards in our hand. We're going to tribute off the Infernal Rage to summon out the Sunrise, and the Sunrise is going to grab the Miracle, and this is where one of the big changes of the combo are. So we're actually going to link away the Sunrise to summon out the Wonder Driver. The reason why we're going to do this is because the Winged Karibo actually requires banishing an Elemental Hero Fusion monster. So because we can banish from the graveyard as well to summon out the Winged Karibo, this actually makes it so that we want to put the Sunrise in grave. Here's one of the cons actually of going for this line is that it means we have to cut Dystopia, because Dystopia was what we were doing if we got Dustered on favorite contact. But you cut Dystopia because you're not going to leave Sunrise on the board. It's still fine. You're going to summon Wake Up instead. And of course, it's not interruption, but it shovels back all your resources so you can play on the turn 3 as long as you survive. So anyway, we're going to banish Malicious and we're going to summon a copy. And it's very important. We're going to summon it to the zone Wonder Driver points to, which will reset our polymerization. Now we can poly the Wing Karibo as well as the Malicious to summon out DPE. So this basically means that you're able to leave your Denier live, and that's going to be awesome. Or if you want the follow-up of searching something off of Shadow Mist, you're going to use Denier's effect in the end phase, and you're just going to have a Malicious left in deck. So we're going to activate Miracle. We're going to banish the Neos and the Flame Wingman, of course, summon out the Wake Up. Now we're going to banish the Sunrise to summon out the Wing Karibo from the graveyard. And now we can set the favorite card. And this is a very common setup for the hero deck. So basically we're going to have Shadow Mist in the end phase, going to be summoned out, grabbing the Mass Change, and we can either Mass Change the Shadow Mist if we already have follow-up, or we can summon Denier, put the Malicious on top of deck, then grab the Mass Change that shovels our deck so Malicious isn't on top of deck, and then we can Mass Change the Denier during the end phase and leave our Shadow Mist live to actually grab follow-up. It's really cool to actually have that option where you can leave the Denier live for even additional follow-up, and this is why I don't believe that the argument that our turn 3 got weaker really takes place. The one con I will give it though is the fact that we do lose a Dystopia play, but without me playing Dystopia, I am now able to fit Baguska into the deck. Another thing I should mention, I'm actually going to go hop right back on the list to talk about a little bit more. So a few things I'm going to mention here is that, like I said, 3 Stratos is very important. Inclusion of the Wing Karibo instead of the Liquid. Also, a very big important thing to note in the extra deck is until we get the Evil Hero cards, which is going to be a while now, you actually do need to play Dangerous, because another con that I will give is the fact that you lose out on the, I believe to be the better 1-card Vion play. So the 1-card Vion play being drawing 2 cards, discarding 1, grabbing and setting up the trap instead of basically going DPE pass, which is what the Dangerous play is going to do. Also to note is the second Wake Up your Elemental Hero. This is basically going to be the play if you get Dustered. So back to that Vion point, we actually am adding 2 more cards, which is Pot of Prosperity, to add to the consistency. So you shouldn't really be having those only Vion plays very much anymore. So that's basically, hopefully, a better view on the context of why I believe we can cut Liquid Soldier. I believe I gave pretty good math and good analysis on the reason why it is an option to do so. I think it's the very competitive way of thinking. If you like Liquid Soldier, please play it. It's your choice. I just wanted to show something that I haven't seen anyone else talk about, and I definitely think there is a good logic behind it and good math behind actually doing so. And a lot of the other hero players I've talked to before this entire discussion blew up, they also agree that they are enjoying this take as well on the deck. So yeah, if I ever feel differently about it, like if I'm like, yeah, this is definitely the format for Liquid Soldier to come back in, it's mostly just also a product of the environment that we're in. But if I ever feel differently, I'm definitely going to, of course, make a deck profile showing Liquid back in, but definitely be looking out for Liquid Soldier not being in my deck. So yeah, I appreciate everyone for watching. I wasn't expecting, like I said, to make this video so quickly. It's just that my friend Carlos actually posted a deck profile with the take in it, and that he took to YCS Sacramento. I felt like I needed to defend the take a little bit more. He didn't play Pot of Prosperity. I think that's one of the big benefits to actually cutting the Liquid Soldier. So I just wanted to put out this video real quick to basically give more context. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and yep, peace.